Hey everyone, I am MSK, aka Master Swag King, coming at you guys today with another video. And if you guys are returning viewers or new viewers, then please consider subscribing to the channel if you have not already. Leave a like on this video if you enjoyed it and comment down below. Also, make sure to hit that notification bell. That way you guys can get notified on whenever I upload a brand new video or go live. And in today's video, we are going to be talking about X-Men 97, which is the sequel series to the ever so popular original X-Men, the animated series, which came out all the way back in the 90s. And what's crazy is that is actually my fourth ever animated superhero TV show that I watched. If you guys remember, my very first anything superhero related was Batman the Animated Series, then it was Superman the Animated Series, then it was Spider-Man, and then it was this X-Men series, actually. So this is a series that was super popular, and by super popular, I mean people quite literally look at the X-Men from that property. Like, X-Men is obviously one of the biggest superhero IPs of all time, but that X-Men the Animated Series really did define it for a lot of people, like how people view the X-Men. I mean, I loved Wolverine as a kid. I even thought, like, fucking Wolverine was X-Men as his actual name. But no, it turns out he has a different character, and you grow up, you think like little kid, and you're like, man, these characters are fucking cool as hell. And you know, turns out the show was really, really big. Later on, it got canceled. And in 2022, San Diego Comic-Con, Marvel announced that they will be doing a sequel series to X-Men the Animated Series. And I remember being around for that weekend, and people were like, wait, what? Now, it was met with, like, optimism, as the internet usually has, right? People were like, man, I don't know if they're going to be replicating this as well as the original. You have people going like, well, they probably shouldn't do it at all. And then, you know, later on, we didn't really hear much about it, honestly. Actually, from San Diego Comic-Con till now, until the show got released, that first trailer, we didn't really hear anything about it, honestly. We saw the designs. We saw a few of them. Then later on, before the show came out, obviously, we had the first trailer drop. And I even said, if you can't get X-Men done good, just pack it up and get out. No, I'm being serious. You cannot get X-Men done in a satisfying way for people. Pack it up, burn it to the ground, and just get out. It's not worth it anymore. It's like, let's stop like hitting this. Let's stop beating this dead horse, right? The trailer dropped. I did my trailer reaction. It's actually pretty good. The trailer was really, really good. Honestly, I'll say. I was like, okay, you know, because Disney recently with Marvel has been, you know, bad, so to speak. Right? Pretty shit.
What is it? A 2-pack of ass?
Yeah, more than that. More like an 8-pack of ass that you fucking buy at the Walmart out of the fucking black guy's minivan because he's selling his rap CDs.
I know nuclear shit isn't really a thing, but I mean, the way Marvel's been going, yeah, it's nuclear shit.
So then that day on Twitter, the X-Men fan account posted like the pictures of the characters and whatever. Morph ended up being non-binary, and obviously that's going to set people off because then that's going to apply the seeds in their heads, which is going to be like, okay, well, they're going to mess it up now. And then you have that X-Men fan account basically telling people, if you don't like it, don't watch. And remember, these are fan accounts like discussing film. They're not there for their opinions. I'm not here to even read their opinions. I'm there to read news they drop. They're supposed to drop the news. And then obviously after that, you know, that fan account did a lot of bad brand damage for X-Men 97. If you weren't there that day, people didn't know what was going on. People will go like, well, why was this show low viewed? So I think a big reason why the show wasn't as viewed, because, you know, streaming numbers are obviously not something that you can reliably track because it's much different than TV. For TV, for them to get funding from the advertisers that, you know, advertise on the network, they have to legally show the real ratings. They have to tell you what they are. Streaming does not have any like legal obligations for that. There's big differences why, okay? I don't want to go into them all right now because it's a whole different discussion, obviously. So, go ahead.
I was going to say, well, here's the question though. How many people were watching this on Disney Plus as opposed to just watching it through other means?
Other means like Captain Jack Sparrow, right?
Exactly.
Because that's the thing is, I think It could be many things. My main thing is, I think I said this to Iron and the other guys when they were doing the show. I think a lot of people just genuinely forgot it was coming out. It got, guys, I shit you not, it got announced at San Diego Comic-Con 2022 when Kevin Feige told you about the multiverse saga. That's a while ago. Think about that. Then I think the trailer dropped, and the trailer was viewed a lot, but that's the thing, trailer views don't really like translate into like people watching the product. People say when they watch the trailer, I'm gonna watch it. They never do.
Yeah.
I mean, like before, we don't know, honestly. It's just we don't know. You know?
Yeah, I think I remember the trailer a lot differently. You said there was a lot of positive feedback to it, dude. I can remember watching the trailer and kind of like you, I was like, dude, this actually looks pretty fun. I actually kind of
It
want to
looked
check
pretty
this
good.
out.
I'll say it
But
looked great. I was like, okay.
But dude, the moment you went in that comment section or looked online for anyone else's
Yeah.
opinions, oh my god.
And this is something that I've even said to people, even with the movie like Lightyear that came out, the whole gay thing. It's like there's something about these movies where the marketing has been so deceptive to the product itself that when you watch the product, not only does the gay character not matter, it doesn't mean anything in the grand scheme of things. Almost as
Right.
if like, I don't know if they're trying to sabotage their own products. I don't know if like the actors are just so beyond removed from reality they just don't care. I don't know, honestly. You know?
Here's what I can honestly say about Morph without really spoiling the show.
Mhm.
It almost felt like Morph was their bargaining chip. Like whatever the original showrunner was going to
Mhm.
do, with the show, he probably was forced to take Morph in that direction
Mhm.
just to compromise for the fact that he wanted to make the show that he wanted to make.
I'm glad you brought that up
Yeah.
because before the show even premiered, they fired the creator,
Mhm.
Bayo de Mayo. People said because keep in mind, he had a free OnlyFans account. Okay, free.
Yeah.
With no, I don't think he had content on there or whatever. I don't know. I'm not checking for his fat wang, obviously. Not checking out for a BBC from a gay dude, right? And then they fire
Look,
him. Now, keep in mind, before we go back to X-Men, keep in mind, Disney, this fucking company, this company makes my blood boil. This company for years has been telling us, cock down your throat. We want
yeah,
you to
once
suck dick and we want you to be gay. Then this gay guy comes out and makes probably one of the best products people have rated for. Keep in mind, all of us have said we don't care if you suck dick or lick carpet or suck off lettuce or eat hot dogs. We don't give a fuck. Just make a good product. This dude right here, he could have been their like one anecdotal piece of evidence. Be like, hey, we can hire gay people and they can do the products you like. After they fired him, I don't even know what they believe anymore. What do they believe anymore?
It's do you believe in this message that you continuously try to spew? Or because, if you obviously want to promote that message, why not keep the guy on that made you a fire ass fucking show and just happens to be gay?
Yeah.
Or is it the fact that he made a fire ass banger show and didn't fill it with all the bullshit that all your other projects have been full of? Because that's what it seems like to me. Dude, I've said it before. I'll say it again. They say they terminated him because of his OnlyFans account. Tell me you're full of shit without telling me that you're full of shit. I've seen these motherfuckers have terminated people for a lot less than that. So, once again, I don't think they terminated him because of his OnlyFans, man. I think, like we've all kind of deducted, he made a fire ass fucking show and they just could not handle the fact that he made something that people enjoy and is not full of all this crazy LGBT, bacon, lettuce, tomato, whatever the fuck it is at this point.
That they had a single out right there. They could literally say, hey, I don't know why you guys are complaining about us hiring these people. We have this guy right here who made you a great show.
Yeah.
That might have been probably one of the easiest layups for this virtue signaling dumb shit company. And they just like, you know what? Because the other thing, remember, it was because he was hard to work with. Now, keep in mind, when anyone says that at any point, whether it be real life or any other job, okay? I don't know what that means because people are so big at being sensitive pussies now. I don't know what that means for a lot of people. Remember the Ray Fisher, Josh Whedon thing? He said Josh Whedon was difficult to work with. Remember, we don't know what he really meant because he never was specific. He was like, he was being racist. He never gave specifics, right? I don't know what that means about difficult to work with. Like, what the fuck does that even mean anymore, honestly?
Didn't something similar just happen between Kevin Feige and Ryan Reynolds?
Allegedly, you know.
Allegedly. But, like I said, man, you know, once again, if this whole X-Men 97 thing proves once and for all,
Mhm.
because, they love to attack the fans and talk about how the fans are, sexist, racist, homophobic,
Always.
transphobic,
Well,
all that
yeah,
shit.
yeah.
But,
You're right.
this whole thing just proves once and for all, we don't care what your sexual orientation is or what your background is. We just want you to make good shit. And if you make good shit, people are going to respond well to it.
That's the thing, is that thing you just mentioned there with them calling the fans that good lord, these people literally did that
Yeah, they
about a
did.
few days ago with the Acolyte. Remember, there's the Variety article, the Kathleen Kennedy interview. Oh my God, they honestly just can't stop. So that's the thing, is if people weren't interested in watching this because they thought Disney Marvel do a bad job based off of everything that they've been doing and everything we know, that is fully understandable. I fully get that, but
Yeah.
this is what I also must also say to people: if you, I'm saying, if you want to be a content creator or if you want people to value your opinion, they're gonna make in movies and TV. There's gonna be bad and good stuff. Okay,
Yeah.
understand that. But if you want people to value your opinion, you're gonna be watching some bad shit. You could always. I'm not saying you can't dip out. I'm not saying you have to watch it, but there's gonna be good with bad when it comes with any movie franchise or any TV series, anything, right? So when
Yeah.
people go, well, I trusted this guy to tell me if it's good. Well, the big problem with that is that you yourself should make up your own mind about something. Now, someone you could trust could be like, I don't like it. That's fine. And I respect those opinions too. But that's not
Yeah.
your opinion. You don't know if you like something. I can't tell you how much stuff people have told me that they dislike. I read it, watch it, whatever, and I like it. You know,
I
you,
can.
you, you just never know. It's how this thing works. You know.
Well, I can tell you just from my first viewing of it, kind of like how I mentioned, about the
Mm-hmm.
Acolyte, cautiously optimistic. I went into this just because, once again, I went in
Mm-hmm.
with the mindset, Marvel's been on a pretty bad decline these past couple of years. So I'm gonna watch this,
Mm-hmm.
see how it pans out over the course of a few episodes, and then I'll really start to pass some judgment on it. And dude, it exceeded all the expectations and just negative thoughts, I thought I was gonna have, man. Like
Mm-hmm.
it is truly some of the best shit they've done since Endgame.
Because you had people that were like, well, this other like most people I think didn't watch it because they just weren't interested. Because even when it got the good word of mouth that it did, this
Yeah.
people still didn't go watch it. That means either they just weren't interested in general, or they're just so dissatisfied with Disney Marvel they're not checking anything out. It could be a mixture of a lot of things, people. But just because your favorite content creator says they like or dislike something doesn't mean you yourself should make an opinion based off what they think. You just don't be an NPC, is all I'm trying to say.
Right.
X-Men 97 performs worse than Marvel's What If that debuted in 2021 when Disney Plus had 31 million less subscribers. A new report reveals that X-Men 97 performed worse than the first season of Marvel Studios' animated series What If, and that was bad. That premiered back in 2021. To be fair, this show had arguably some of the best episodes and some of the worst episodes for these Disney Plus MCU shows. But those best episodes
I
were
didn't
pretty
hate
good. I'll give them that.
I didn't hate What If. I mean,
It was
it's not
just
great.
remember
It's not.
the thing I said earlier. It was just you're done with it. You're just like that was pretty meh. That's the feeling with all these shows. Every single
Yeah,
one of them.
yeah. You got done with it, and you're just kind of like,
Eh,
it
yeah,
is what it is.
meh. I'd rather get my dick sucked by a fucking trainee. Hello,
Yeah, I'd rather put my dick in a vacuum cleaner and call it a
vacuum
day.
cleaners can consent. Saying it right now. Variety's Salome Halu details that Disney informed him and the outlet that X-Men 97 brought in 4 million views in its first 5 days on Disney Plus.
Wow.
They might have potentially damaged this brand so bad that not even X-Men can save them. That's bad.
Well,
Honestly, that's true.
once again, only 4 million views on Disney Plus.
And the first days, too.
Mm-hmm.
The number made the show the streamer's most watched season 1 premiere for a full-length animated series since Marvel's What If debuted in 2021. While Variety, Disney, and Marvel are clearly trying to spin this as a win, a look at Marvel's What If from 2021 shows this is not the case. Marvel's What If had a single episode premiere, What If Captain Carter were the first Avenger, on August 11th, 2021. In comparison, X-Men 97 had a 2-episode premiere for both To Me, My X-Men and Mutant Libertation begins.
Liberation.
Begins. Both episodes dropped on Disney Plus March 20th, 2024. Okay, the problem with this, there's a lot that changed since then. In 2021, there was a lot of decent goodwill still there because that was the beginning of phase 4, right? We're like three and a half years later from that point to this point.
I think maybe they were just starting to close out on phase 4. I thought that was like one of the last things they did.
Phase 4 begins with WandaVision and Black Widow.
Oh, yeah. You're right. I'm sorry.
That's fine. It's been a while since then, people. So factor in how much has changed in our minds about Disney, MCU, Marvel, whatever, versus now. A lot.
It is amazing how quickly something can decline over the course of just a few years.
All self-inflicted, not the fans. All self-inflicted.
Mm-hmm.
That means that a single episode debuted back in 2021 beat out a 2-episode premiere in 2024. Because I think that this lacks a lot of nuance. There's so much different of a time period that is compared to now, and by how these brands have shaped up. First of all, also Disney Plus What If, the animated series that Marvel did, that was something that people billed as if they thought it was connected to the MCU. From what I remember, that's why a lot of people checked it out.
Isn't it technically connected to the MCU with the Watcher and all that?
Yeah. But I can also kind of agree. It's like, well, if this is X-Men, then that shouldn't matter in general. But like I said before, there's been a lot of brand damage since then.
Right.
When the two shows were released, also shows that X-Men 97's viewership is not that great. The Walt Disney Company reported that in its fourth quarter of fiscal year 2021, which ended on October 2nd, 2021, total subscribers to Disney Plus landed 118.1 million. In the most recent report for the first quarter of fiscal year 2024, Disney reported that Disney Plus had a total of 149.6 million subs. That means a show from 2021 when Disney Plus had only 118.1 million subscribers beat a show from 2024 when Disney Plus had around a total of 149.6 million subscribers. Oof, that's pretty bad.
Like I was pointing out earlier, because they're only saying about 4 million people watched it on Disney Plus. That's just Disney Plus. I mean, we've talked to people who have said they've seen the show, but they didn't watch it on Disney Plus.
Good old Captain Jack Sparrow, as we'll say.
Yeah.
But that goes to show you how much of brand damage this Marvel actually has now. Because if we just look at that in isolation, less subscribers then, more viewers on an animated series.
Mm-hmm.
More subscribers now on Disney Plus, less viewers. That's not good. And there's one more reason I could add to that. That's not X-Men's fault. When you go into any streaming service, there is so much content there on some of these, you don't know what you're about to watch. You'll be sitting there scrolling for hours trying to figure out, okay, I'll finally just watch this. There's a lot of content on Disney Plus now compared to what it used to be back when it first dropped. Just to reiterate, there are around 31.6 million more subscribers on Disney Plus today when X-Men 97 debuted compared to when What If premiered, and What If still had higher ratings. We were also still in our houses a lot of that time too,
Mm-hmm. We really didn't have much to do, and guess what? People have gone out and touched grass.
Is that a good thing, actually?
I've heard it's good for your mental health. Maybe you should try it.
This is not new for Marvel Studios and Lucasfilm financial analysis. Valiant Renegade called for Disney to stop spending money on Marvel and Star Wars Disney Plus programs because the shows are seemingly not driving subscriptions and increasing the company's Disney Plus revenue.
Disney just needs to quit spending money on stuff in general.
Yeah.
Because they're just losing money every time they spend money.
Imagine someone dropping off a truck of money and just giving it out and burning it. That's literally what it is.
What is it that episode from SpongeBob where they're basically just giving the money away? Oh, we've burned it, we shredded it. We're just giving it away.
Oh my god! So we decided to give it all away. What,
dude? But Mr. Krabs is Bob Iger. He's just sitting in his office cringing as this happens.
I don't know what they can do anymore. It feels like people are just so anti-Disney, and I'm not gonna blame the show. I'm not, but this is really bad.
Yeah,
that they have more subscribers now and less people view their shit. I don't know what's going on anymore, honestly.
Well, like you said, anti-Disney. It kind of feeds back to my point about the people not watching it on Disney Plus. You know,
Mhm.
I've talked to people who have said, "Oh, I've watched the show. The show is great. I just haven't watched it on Disney Plus because I don't want Disney adding my fucking viewership numbers to their bullshit."
He wrote on X back in September 2023, following Ahsoka's poor ratings that were worse than the Book of Boba Fett. Ahsoka's viewership for the premiere measured lower than that of Book of Boba Fett when adjusted for runtime. That's awful. Disney Plus has added millions of subs since then. None of them are signing up for Star Wars or Marvel. He then declared, "It's time for Disney pull the plug on those franchises on Disney Plus because the cost to benefit ratio is way out of whack. They are spending too much money to produce mediocre crap at best that nowhere near enough people are watching to justify these obscene costs." Hashtag Disney
DD
dumb.
dumb. Dismal Disney, as Neon is coined.
What do you make of X-Men 97 failing to best Marvel's What If premiere that debuted on Disney Plus back in 2021? All right, so what are your closing thoughts on this, man? I know you like the show, and I said before, I'm still gonna watch it. I'm just gonna
Yeah.
review the other seasons first before I watch this one. It's
Uh,
crazy if this is actually
yeah.
true. Because people factor, I must make sure I reiterate this: streaming numbers released by these people from their own streaming service is not the other way TV does it.
Yeah.
It's kind of like just source. Trust me,
It
bro.
to me, just to kind of close this out, to me, it's really insane that they have more subscribers on Disney Plus back. Yeah, they have more Disney Plus subscribers now than
Yeah.
what they did in 2021, and the
Mhm.
show still did not do as well on Disney Plus as I thought it was going to. And it's like you said, man, it's brand damage. They've shot themselves in the foot so many times at this point and self sabotage themselves that people are just tired of Disney, man. It's a domino effect. You keep releasing dud after dud after dud after dud. People are going to turn their backs on you because, in their eyes, you're just not worth it anymore. You're not putting anything out that has any substance that people can enjoy. They're just going to turn their back on you and move on to something else. So I honestly, like you said, man, self-sabotage. They shot themselves in the foot, and this is
Yeah.
kind of what they get.
I agree. Yeah, this is all their fault. This is no one's fault but their own. Like
Yeah.
the fact that even potentially X-Men couldn't draw people in to watch is
And it's
really bad because it
and
came
it
out good, like a lot of people said. So I think
yeah.
that's another. That's what sucks. It came out good and it still couldn't draw people in
Yeah.
because Disney has tarnished the brand that bad. That's terrible.
Also, maybe you can answer this question. Does this prove once and for all that word of mouth doesn't always work? Because,
Uh
I mean,
it hasn't really been that effective. Word of mouth is very peculiar because it depends on if people didn't check it out, then there could be no good word of mouth. And the good word of mouth that did benefit the show, it didn't help it either.
yeah.
You know?
I hate it for the show because the show is really good. And I even hate it
Mhm,
for the showrunner because, he's even said in interviews, kind of like us, he loves the original 90s series.
mhm,
So he wanted to make something that was very faithful to the tone and atmosphere and, just faithful to the characters from the original
mhm.
90s show. And he succeeded. It kills me that, you know, they're not well, I take that back. It just kinda kills me that this whole thing, as good as it is just not getting the recognition it deserves, and it's all because Disney just for whatever fucking reason, no matter how many times they fall on their fucking faces trying to do things,
Mhm.
can't pull their head out of their own ass.
Because you had a lot of people that said, "Well, I didn't check it out the moment that Morph was confirmed non-binary." Okay, so this is what I'll say to
Yeah.
people. You won't know the true impact of a character unless you actually watch the product. Like look at Star Wars now. People still
Dude,
check the products
I
out to know
I
how the impact of those gay characters are. Like you said before, he didn't do anything to
no,
warrant
dude,
like
I
people's
I can
reactions.
I can count on my finger. I can count on one hand how many times they allude to it or at least tease
Mhm,
it. And from what I can remember, it's like 3. Over a
mhm,
span of like 10 episodes, they only
mhm.
bring it up or hint at it like maybe 3 times. Other than that, dude, Morph might as well not even be a character in the show at all because he's just in the background doing shit all the time. And honestly, without spoiling too much. Honestly, dude, Morph is just there to bring in cameos because his power is he can morph and change into, the figures of, other people that he's seen. He's just there to be a glorified cameo for characters that didn't make it into the show. Honestly.
Because that's the other thing too, is it looked like a lot of people just really weren't that interested in the
No.
show, which is not, I mean, that just kind of sucks because if it's a really good show, people just missed out because the interest wasn't there. And I think the problem with the show, man, not to the problem of the show, it's more like they announced it so early and nothing came to it. Like they didn't really feed people more. It was just like, oh, hey, 90s X-Men 97 sequel series to that other show you really like, and then nothing, crickets for 2 years straight. Bro, that's terrible. That's bad.
Also, well, I think you mentioned it earlier, just bad advertising too, just because, I mean, dude, because, and once you watch the show, you'll understand a lot more. But, once again, Morph might as well just be a footnote in the entire show. In the grand scheme of the overarching story that they're telling in this season, Morph is just a background character. And the fact that they made it a pinpoint to try and use him in the marketing and go, oh, well, this character Morph, we like Morph, and he's non-binary. Yeah, he's a fucking background character. Like that doesn't even play a major role in the overarching story they're telling. Like, of all the things you could have said when you were marketing this show, I don't think the first thing out of your mouths probably should have been, oh yeah, we have this non-binary character that was, not non-binary in the 90s.
That might have just been
it's
suicide
like
for the marketing. That's just been
that was once again shooting yourself in the foot. Like you could have
people already had that. All they wanted was that confirmation bias.
Yeah,
that's all they wanted.
All you had to do was build up the show and talk about what we're probably getting ready to see in the show, and have a nice little press tour. But no, you zeroed in on, oh, Morph is non-binary, and once again, that's Disney. They've fumbled and fumbled and fumbled and fumbled so much that all it took was for the right amount of people to hear that one little thing, and it turned off any kind of interest that they could have had in the show.
Yeah, because people factor in, if they can do X-Men good, at least in animation wise, that should give you some hope. Well, I think one of you guys mentioned it in one of the shows that we did. Just because they did it good in animation does not mean it's going to work out in live action. And the live action stuff we've heard is pretty, that's pretty concerning too.
The live action stuff is a mixed bag. The stuff we've gotten, throughout the 15 years, throughout the last 20 years has been a mixed bag. But I mean, X-Men has had what, 3 banger animated shows? You had the 90s series. You had X-Men Evolution from
Evolution
the early,
was good,
yeah. You had that from the early 2000s.
Honestly, yeah, super slept on, yeah.
It's good. I like it. And and Wolverine and the X-Men, which is another good show that abruptly got canceled.
So, guys know X-Men 97 low ratings, but hey, it's got renewed for that season 2. I will be giving you guys that season by season review of the first X-Men animated series, and then I'm going straight into this one. That way I can all be ready for when season 2 drops. So yeah, Disney really has done some brand damage here to Marvel. It's bad. If you think it's just been show wise, comics, movies, television, they just want to commit brand suicide at this point. It's bad. If anyone disagrees, you've been living under a rock, like Patrick Star levels of rock.
Dude, at this point, Disney is Old Yeller, and we're the little boy that has to take them out in the back with a shotgun and put them down.
Well, if you guys enjoyed the video, if you are a new viewer or returning viewer, make sure you subscribe to the channel if you have not already. Leave a like on this video if you enjoyed it, comment down below, and hit the notification bell. That way, you guys can get notified on whenever we upload a brand new video or go live. I'm MSK, aka Master Swag King. We're signing out, guys.